Anger. Anger is the easiest emotion to feel. It is not the most satisfying. There is a difference. It is the easiest. It is the quickest to come up.
That makes sense. Yep.
And it all of a sudden made sense. Because in order to go deeper, to get to what the true feelings are, is hard. Feeling your emotions is so rewarding and also the worst thing that you could possibly go through.
Yeah.
Because those emotions get trapped in the body. You need to feel them in order to release them. So when I first tried to get in touch with my feelings, I had a coach and she's like, "How you feeling today, Heather?" I'm like, "I'm good." And
It's always my answer.
she's
I'm great.
she's like, "I realize that you're good, but how are you feeling?" And I'm like, "I'm good." She's like, "Hey, you're not answering.
Stop asking.
You're not answering my question." And I'm like, "I'm good. Like, what do you want?" And she's like, and then it was like, we went into emotions, and there's a lot of people who they can't go deeper. They stop at anger and that's it. Because it's an emotion, it's the easiest to feel, that's it. Welcome back to the Ritual Pantry with Stephanie and Heather. And today we have a theme that I think I'm going to derail it a little bit because I had a realization this week.
I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it? So, yeah, we've had really interesting conversations that are very meaningful and very in the moment, what we need to hear. However, both of us are very tapped into the metaphysical world. And I feel like that's the direction that we need to go.
Sweet.
So bring on the magic, bring on the spiritual
Ooh,
frequency,
I love magic.
juju, and all that other good fun stuff. Because last week I fell apart. Don't know what it was. There was some stuff I was processing, and I literally couldn't stop crying.
I do remember this.
Like, I just sat there and I cried for no reason. I couldn't figure it out. Nothing was bothering me. Nothing was out of the norm. And then I realized that there's a major energy shift on the planet. Everything is being completely rewired, and any of those blocked emotions that we haven't released in the last lifetime were literally coming to the surface.
Oh, it's so good right now.
Good? Good or good bad?
Good, like, oh my God, what? Yeah, I feel you.
So this episode, ironically, was about going with the flow and resisting that need to charge forward. So when setting this session up, I decided to go with the flow in a totally different direction. So I hope you're okay with that.
Hey, man, I'm just here for the ride.
So I want to talk about the different levels that we heal on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so in.
So everybody knows the physical. My arm is hurt. I need to do something physically with my arm. But then there's the emotional side. There's the mental side. And then there's the spiritual side. And of all of those modalities, it all comes together. So it actually comes from the top down. And when it physically hits the physical body in the 3D, that's when we feel it. And because it's so dense and heavy, it takes time to process.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, I feel that. I've experienced this on a really deep level. Totally.
So I'm going to give a prime example. So a couple weeks ago, I put out my neck. And to the point where I couldn't move it forward and force something that I knew wasn't going to help. went to the chiropractor anyway, and then ended up couldn't move my head sideways. So I'm like, okay, there's more to this.
Well, that was serious because you actually went to urgent care for that. Like, you thought it was more the way that it was presenting. So, like, you were dealing or trying to deal with the physical, for sure.
Trying to deal with the physical. And when I couldn't deal with the physical anymore, it's like I had to look at it a little bit deeper. So at the time, I was going back to my old role. I had 3 people who I was very close with on site leave. There was my future is a little bit uncertain currently with work. Don't worry, I still have a job. It's good. Like that's we know this. Just not sure if I'm going to stay in admin or go to operations or where I'm going to be or which site I'm going to go to. And so there was a lot of stressors that I didn't pay attention to.
Mhm.
And I just kept pushing it down. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Yeah. I'm just going to go with the flow. I wasn't going with the flow. I was ignoring it. And there's a drastic difference between going with the flow and ignoring a problem.
That's facts. Yep. Agreed. So what did you do?
So over the last week, I just pulled from my pantry that I have different things that have worked along the way. So breath work. There was lots of breathing this week. Just getting down and being like, you are safe. You don't have to worry about it. Whatever is going to come to fruition will. Easier said than done. So breathing and just letting my body know you're safe. You're doing exactly what you need to do. You're safe. I did some journaling.
That's a big one. Underrated, I think.
Very underrated. And I don't draw on it enough because the stuff that comes to the surface, like if you just like, it doesn't have to even be like, dear journal, that's not the type of journaling I'm talking about.
No, it's like channeling. It's literally when you get into that flow state and you are literally channeling into all the things that pop in.
So it was like, I should have brought it and read it out because it's very unscripted. It's very rough. It's like, my neck is killing me. Okay, what does this relate to in the physically? Yes, it means my neck is out.
Need a new pillow.
Need it. Let's get a new pillow. Let's go to the chiropractor. Let's take some ibuprofen. Let's take some anti-inflammatories. All of those, which would work.
Yeah.
100%. And then next week, I would still have a reoccurring neck ache.
Right.
So getting to the mental. Okay, why am I refusing to like move? Right? Like the physical movement of my neck.
Oh.
Where in my life, and these are questions I'm asking myself, where in my life am I refusing to see?
Yeah.
Where in my life am I refusing to look? Because it was like
narrowed vision.
A very narrow-minded vision. And the stuff that came out was brilliant.
Well, tell me.
So I went and talked to my senior coordinator and I'm like, okay, my goal is to get into operations. How do we do this? Like, do I start learning another unit? Because I'm currently taking my 3rd. So do I go and learn another unit? What do I do to keep on track and keep
working towards the goal?
Like, I don't have any answers, so I'm looking to you for guidance. For me, it's a big step to be like, hey, I need help. I'm looking for somebody else to help collaborate on this idea that I want to move forward instead of trying to come up with the solutions by myself.
That's very interesting. Please remind me to revisit this.
Okay, we'll revisit this. So he's like, well, why don't we just get you out on the plant for 2 days a week?
I can do that?
This
we
thought
can do that?
Didn't even cross my mind. I'm qualified in unit. I have my 4th. We can do that. And what that does, because we have a lot of retirements coming up this year, it frees up those operators who are currently in those posts to go and help in a different unit, to go get trained in another unit, to go and catch up on their behind the scenes training. So it's a win-win for both parties. Okay, great.
That's cool.
So then I go to my coordinator. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this idea? I don't want to overstep any bounds. And he's like, come out anytime. Like, anytime you want to come out, we'll gladly take you. An extra person who knows what's going on is always welcome. And I'm like, okay,
That was easy.
that was easy. Okay. And then I also have a brand new field manager. So I had my one-on-one, sit down, meet and greet, and he knows my path forward. And he's like, okay, so do we have a plan forward for you? I'm like, funny enough. And he's like, great. If we want to do 3, 4, like whatever your workload is, because I'm still going to be covering admin in the meantime. So it was seamless. And I wouldn't have come up with this on my own without those deeper questions that like really looking and being like, what is bothering me? And when it came down to it, I felt like I was going backwards.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yep.
So feeling like I was going backwards without a path forward was where it all came from. And as soon as I let go of that, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, my neck was still tight, but I could actually like physically move it and like move my arms again. And it wasn't like a
Agony every time.
agony every time I moved my head.
I love that. That's so interesting. And it is, man, is it easy to get into the physical parts, right? Because I think it took a long time for me to figure out that all these things are actually connected. And man, it's hard to even put into words, honestly, what happens when you figure it out. Because it's really easy to resist. Card-carrying member of resistance.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know
Right?
the club at all.
And then when you're like, okay, when you do take that step back and open the scope up, and it's surrendering to what actually is coming up. Because yeah, you're right, man. It's been a emotionally bonkers time. There's like, it feels like turmoil. It feels like release. It feels like cathartic almost. But crap on a cracker, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, and it's not just me. Like, people were spicy all
no.
week at work, and we're close enough at work where we just call each other out on it, and it's like, dude, what's going on? Like,
Yeah. Well, do you know, it's interesting because I hadn't thought about it, right? I just got this download show. Because of course I know this is going on because I keep up on all this kind of stuff. But I never think about it with my kids. And so many things just like smacked me right in my brain. And I was like, oh, that totally makes sense now. Honestly, there was definitely some, I don't even know if turmoils. Yeah, it was. It was turmoil with Phoenix this week. And I won't divulge, that's her story to tell, but like it was deeper, right? And so we got kind of the surface agitation, and then that's not what it was. So going deeper with her, oh, well, that's what it is, right? And so like having the kids and remembering those things, that they feel the exact same things, maybe even more intensely than we do, because they know even less how to process this stuff. So, I mean, I guess I'm grateful for the work and for the knowledge and, you know, occasionally remembering these things in the moment when these things happen. But man, that makes sense.
but it's also that sense of relief when you finally like can pinpoint what's going on.
Yeah.
Because last week it was awful. Like just tears at the drop of a hat for for me, I'm like, I know that there's something deeper here and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, and that makes you feel all kinds of things, like things that we've talked about. Like you're like, okay, well, I'm making myself the victim of what, right? And um, just not having that broader scope, and it's so easy to stay there. It's so easy, so easy.
Well, and if we go into emotions, all emotions are on a different frequency.
Yeah, true story. Yep.
So being authentic is of the highest frequency.
I know we keep talking about this, and I need you to like go a little deeper for me because I think of some people who are being authentic right now, and I'm like, nope.
But authentic and opinions are different. If you're
Okay, well, how do we tell the difference right now?
So if you have an opinion,
I'm full of them.
we
Just
all
ask
are.
me.
We all are. But if it's being masked with another emotion such as hatred,
Mm,
dishonesty,
mm,
sadness,
mm-hmm.
that's bringing that frequency down.
So, what is, in your opinion, being truly authentic? What is that for you right now? I need more clarity on this. I mean, I know you, but I need more clarity on what you're actually saying.
Put me on the spot.
I know.
I
I'm
love
sorry. I
love
know.
being put on the spot.
This can go so sideways for me. So sideways. I don't want to go there. I don't want to make it messy. But
So
what we're being shown as authentic is all the way out of alignment with me. I'll kick it in the face.
absolutely. Okay. So I know where you're going with this, and we won't get into that part because it'll just bring up a whole wild.
It's it's not a place we should go.
It's not a place we should go. So being authentic comes from your self truth without the influence of anything or anybody outside of you. So it is that heart, gut, mind alignment. So it's having that like flow going through your body. And when it comes from a place of mentally, I'm going to stop myself. But when it comes from a place of like when your thoughts aren't the truth,
Whose truth? Who decides that truth?
your thoughts are stories and ego getting in the way of what your heart desire is.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but without going down this path, that could be someone's heart's desire. Does That's their truth. And currently, in this state of weirdness in the world, who are we to question that authenticity? Because it's their truth. Might not be my truth. How? Okay, so I guess the bigger question is how to be in alignment with yourself in a world where, especially with children, for me, I see all this situation and I'm like, keep that away from my children.
I don't know how to answer this stuff.
I don't think there's a right answer. That's why it's muddy. I'm all for you do you, let me do me, but I do not have to believe what you believe.
No, you don't. And
I just don't like the pushiness, you know? You know?
Yeah, but that's anything. I mean, it's even this conversation. We have opinions that there's different levels of healing, and we're going to get people who are going to be like, you're crazy, and that's just how it is. But for us, that is our authentic truth because it aligns with our belief and our experiences in the world.
And authenticity changes.
It does. And now that we're completely derailed,
We are. Bring us back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
But I don't feel like I'm fully like I'm not articulating what I want to tell, what I want to say.
Okay, so authenticity is the highest frequency. Okay, I derailed you. Stay on that path because you do keep bringing it up, and I need to feel it right in my heart.
And love and hate are on the same frequency. It's also very much up there.
Mm?
Feels very different in the body.
Yeah, that's true. I see. Okay.
And then you bring in sadness. So the reason why people are so quick to anger is because it's the easiest emotion to feel. We have a wide range of emotions. And when it's the easiest to feel, you don't have to go deeper. And because it's the easiest to feel, a lot of people stop there
And just be angry.
and just be angry. So I have a prime example. So I was in Hawaii with my brother and sister. And we went up to the top of Haleakala, watched the sunrise. It was amazing. And then we had these like cruiser bikes that we literally like just cruised down the mountain. And we had very specific instructions. My brother, God bless him, did not follow these directions.
Of course not.
Ended up because he was helping somebody. So he jumped off and did his thing. We were not supposed to get off the bikes. And he ended up hurting his elbow, like really bad. Like he actually called it a swelbo. It still bothers him to this day because he like chipped a bone.
Oh, what?
And I was so angry with him that he didn't follow directions. I was so angry. I'm like you, if you just did what you were supposed to do, you wouldn't be hurt.
I know this feeling.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Where below that, if I let myself go below that, I was deeply concerned that he was hurt.
Right.
But I couldn't let myself go there. There's no way. So we fast forward 10 years. I go to a retreat in Bali. Amazing. And it was called Into the Heart. This is where I first learned about emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where it came from. Anger. Anger is the easiest emotion to feel. It is not the most satisfying. There is a difference. It is the easiest. It is the quickest to come up.
That makes sense. Yep.
And it all of a sudden made sense. Because in order to go deeper, to get to what the true feelings are, is hard. Feeling your emotions is so rewarding and also the worst thing that you could possibly go through.
Yeah.
Because those emotions get trapped in the body. You need to feel them in order to release them. So when I first tried to get in touch with my feelings, I had a coach and she's like, "How you feeling today, Heather?" I'm like, "I'm good." And
It's always my answer.
she's
I'm
like,
great.
she's like, "I realize that you're good, but how are you feeling?" And I'm like, "I'm good." She's like, "Okay, you're not answering.
Stop asking.
You're not answering my question." And I'm like, "I'm good. Like, what do you want?" And she's like, and then it was like, we went into emotions, and there's a lot of people who just, they can't go deeper. They stop at anger and that's it. Because it's an emotion, it's the easiest to feel, that's it. I had to get a color wheel. This was Jenna, she was lovely. She sent me a color wheel and she's like, "Okay, we're going to start here. If you were to feel a color, what do you think it would be?"
What was it?
Well, at that time it was red.
Ooh.
Red, red, red.
Spicy.
Spicy, spicy, spicy. But I had to, and there was I think it was like 6 times a day I had to check in with myself to be like, "Okay, what are you feeling right now?" And not like the word feeling, but the color. And then
Okay.
go to this color wheel and be like, "Oh, okay, that's what I'm feeling."
Like, was it associated? Like, was there like
So all the
a
colors were
blurb about a
all the
situation?
colors were associated with a certain color
Very
or
cool.
an
An
emotion.
emotion, yeah.
So eventually, I taught myself how to feel deeper. So if we circle back to being authentic, there's no way that you can be your fully authentic self until you can feel that Y range. So when people are projecting, you have to, with a tone of anger or resentment behind them, that's usually indicating that they're feeling lost, they're feeling isolated, they're not feeling heard,
That checks
they're
out.
not feeling accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes so much deeper. So yes, they're being authentic, but they're only being authentic with their first couple emotions.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I'm just thinking about the situation like with Phoenix, and 100%. It's like it's bang on, right? Because you get that base level of agitation, the anger, the tone, right?
Because it's
That's when that stuff comes through. And then it's like, wait a minute, something's out. Something's out. And, following that deeper with her, uh yeah, it was totally in service. It sucked for her, but it all came out.
and it does if you're willing to keep going deeper. And you will know as soon as you like hit that emotion. So last week, yeah, there was a lot of sadness. And I'm like, where's this sadness coming from? Knowing full well that it was something else.
Mm-hmm.
And behind that sadness was this uncertainty. And uncertainty is great until it's too much uncertainty and you're feeling misplaced.
Yeah. Yeah, uncertainty is like one of the basic human needs is having uncertainty. But uncertainty in some areas is not so great.
But it's having certainty and uncertainty
Yep.
as a balance.
Yep.
So when one of those become unbalanced,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because could you imagine every day waking up doing the exact same thing and you know certainly what is going to happen and what everybody around you is going to say?
It's like the Truman Show.
It gets really boring really quick.
Yeah.
And that's where uncertainty comes in and you're like, yeah, all right, yes, I'm up for going for a coffee with you. Like, let's go for lunch. Sure.
Yeah.
Those type of uncertainties.
Yeah.
Help flow. But when it's a big uncertainty and certainty is out of balance, not good.
Agreed. Very.
So, and that was where I came to realize that I think our show needs to go to a different direction. And
Ooh.
that's where we talk about how food relates back to our body, because we both chefs. We'll talk about cooking, but going back to what we do, what we're up to, and everything else. But going deeper to help other people understand that they're not alone, they're not lost. And it's literally coming from being our authentic selves.
I'm excited for that. Also a little scared. But ultimately, it's the work that needs to be done. And I think that there's a lot of value.
I think so too. Hey, Steph.
What?
Do you know what time it is?
Time for lunch.
Pantry Confessions.
It's too early for lunch.
All right. We've had a lot this week come in. Okay.
I'm excited.
1 through 10.
Ooh, 1 through 10. 7's always going to be my pick.
7. Okay.
I don't like even numbers.
I tell myself I'm fine, but I haven't really slowed down enough to know if that's true. When was the last time you actually checked in with yourself?
Well, I have this thing called avoidance. If you don't acknowledge it, it can't exist, right?
Yeah. Until you get a call from the government saying, hey, you haven't done your taxes in 7 years. You should probably get on that.
Oh my God. Okay, at least I do my taxes. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I 100% can relate to this. I recently got a new doctor. And I've been avoiding some things for a while. Or when I get, I get nowhere with the answer
Mhm.
or getting to the root cause of things, I think. And I'm specifically talking medically right now. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep ignoring it because obviously it's nothing. It's not nothing. However, I have recently been propelled into getting a new doctor. And I've had that knowledge for a really long time because I know that my old doctor's retiring. But she was so comfortable for me because she's been my doctor for like more than 35 years. Like easily. So she's got my whole life.
Yeah, she has her whole
right?
history.
Right? And I can't say that I've ever loved her. And that's nothing against her. I'm not in alignment with the way that she practices. She's very Western. That's what works for her. That is not what works for me. So I recently was recommended a new doctor and out here in Okotoks. And my first appointment with her was literally all about alignment. Because I was like, listen, I'm looking for a partner in my health who isn't just going to push like medication on me, because the likelihood that I'm going to take it is roughly 0. It doesn't matter how bad I feel. If I wake up tomorrow, I'm good. But that's bad. That's bad. She's totally gotten on board with where I'm at. Because when I go to the doctor, when I finally get there, when I acknowledge that, it's bad. It's usually to the point where I actually need some intervention. And I've avoided it for so long. I had that resistance to the Western, and I tried, more holistic approaches, but nothing was really working. Hence that clearly needing to go deeper. But she aligned with where I'm actually at, and is actually helping me to understand that there's value in both. I'm realizing in this, here it was. This is what I remembered earlier, is that the exhaustion of doing all these things, that's not a prize. Because here I am at this point, and I've had my mother and my brother both this week look at me very seriously and say, Stephanie, maybe you should slow down. Maybe you should stop doing all the things. So, yeah, I get this. I can 100% relate to this. Slow down. I'm still struggling, though. Really struggling. Because somebody's got to do it.
Well, when we first got in here, you asked for help, and I think that was the first time in our 20-plus year friendship that I've actually heard those words come out of your mouth. So
Really?
something hit home, because I've never heard you say, hey, can you help me?
Actually, it's just that kind of week.
Just that kind of week. Well, and when we get to that point, our bodies are like, you know what? You either take the time to slow down, or I'm going to slow it down for you.
Yep. Yeah, so you should listen to it when your body says, take the time, you should take it. You should really take it before it's too late.
I agree. On that note.
Yeah, before I derail anymore.
I have nothing but love for you.
Yeah, I love you, bestie.
And I'm really excited about where this is going to go.
Me too.
Until next time, guys. Bye.